was monsoon season. You both hopped the pool gate. Her body was an ocean, illuminated under night sky, gliding into the ledges of your arms and chest. You carried her through the evening by laughter and touch and eyeline. She was an ocean. You felt every current in your bloodstream rush into your heart like a thunderbolt as you took her. She traveled you within the moment to a space beyond time, a place you could never return from the same. This is to say, the bed was a rocky boat, a submarine, a starship. Stardust gleamed like orbs of sweat across your drifting bodies, drifting unconsciously closer to death, sleep, and another tomorrow. Just before she stepped into her car and left your arms that morning, the sunlight brought her into perfect view, and you were struck by her eyes. Two deep obsidian pools, oceans swirling light back into you that whispered suddenly, "Discover me." A spell came over you, and you saw three women dancing in her eyes, three versions of herself, one young, one old, one new, the past, the future, the present. View three bodies of water that would drown any man that did not honor their nature, their livelihood, their way. All three women held water and poison and dirt. You saw her in Trinity and were convinced you could love all of her, every version she could become, the young woman, contemptuous, naive, brave, innocent, magic, the old woman, bona fide, wise, shrewd, loving, and tragic, the present woman, becoming as she is, rippling between the two like a wave cutting through windy rain. But how to love her? This question you answered like any good man. To love her, you must offer effort, attention, praise, gifts, poems, patience, strength. And so you gave. And at times you awakened her to invite you in and love you endlessly in the moment. But also, you gave her useless things like uncertainty, fear, doubt, blame, criticism, and burden, which corrupted her trust in you. You were wrong to think you could love her like a poem, something written, set rigid in permanent ink, not at all like a river in perpetual motion. You were wrong to think she could become a swimming pool, contained, predictable, maintainable, not at all like an ocean. You were wrong to expect her to one day be unchanging, consistent, steady, less challenging, to one day arrive at a place where she was completely sold on you. This is not at all her nature. Not at all what nature is. Nature is water, ocean, sky, forest, desert, night, bitch, mother, goddess, nymph, hailstorms of ice and wind, chaos and endless creative possibility. Her nature will always be your muse. So you must know now, you were not at all wrong to be struck by her eyes. You were not wrong to be struck by her lips and laughter and wit every time she offered herself to you. You were not wrong to fall into her eyes, but you were a fool to replace your wanting of her with need. You were a fool to forget yourself long enough to interpret her eyes as some promise and not simply an enchanted invitation. And now that she is gone, like a monsoon, she has gifted you the lesson of never becoming that fool again. For a boy takes and needs to feed his foolish, fearful heart. A man faces his fears and offers his greatest gift of love to the world so that he can be free. It is okay to let her eyes haunt you a while now that their light has left your world. After all, you're a man that can chase away any ghost just by giving the world another poem. It is okay to remember that at your greatest moments of communion, the both of you were divine, shining strand by strand of streaming light, bathing naked in each other's eyes. But do not dwell too long